everyone. This is Auto Asphyxiation. This is Lark.
And Kimberly.
Yep, it's that time of the week. And this week, we're talking about public space. And the two issues we're going to talk about today are the DEI bike lanes and the 400 non citizens who cast ballots out of millions. Um, and yeah, we're talking about. We're talking about who's allowed in public, who's allowed to do what, and what are the reactions between in the reaction depending on who is doing what. Which probably you're probably like, well, this doesn't seem related. It is related. It's very related.
Well, it all comes back to power.
Exactly. It's all about power, and that is kind of like what we are, you know, and the thing is, I wrote something about. We're gonna start off with the bike lanes, and we're gonna go into um the administrative era or era. I didn't say era. I said era. I gotta say that correctly. I've been drinking. That's why. So it's not my fault. So people making a joke about a DEI bike lane, and it's kind of like this weird thing where we were looking, well, people in the, what can I say this? People in the bike community, not even the bike community, just regular people like you and me. uh, the USDOT removed bike lanes, road diets, and every other major speed management strategy from its list of proven safety countermeasures from its USDOT website. So essentially, what happened is it went from having 28 to 23. But the thing was funny is that they didn't even bother to change the copy. They just removed the bicycles. So now it's 23, but the copy's the same, but the bicycles are gone.
It's
They,
just like they chunked it out.
yeah, absolutely. But I just thought it was funny that they couldn't even bother to change it. They didn't even change it. It's kind of like, you go to that restaurant that's like that greasy spoon, and they're like, they just erased the chili. They're like, we don't serve that anymore. But not even change the menu, not even worth it because it's just too much trouble. So they're not even doing that. But I think the thing is really interesting in this case is, um, and I will bring us back to that in regards to the bike lanes is like, I think which is ridiculous is that they seem to act like the bicycle community has been very much shocked. Like, why does a government have something against bike lanes? I mean, we're white men. We made that very clear that we're white men. So how can it be DEI when I'm a white man and I like doing this? And they seem so shocked and hurt and betrayed because as we had a conversation about, white men who are working class are kind of like the house slaves of the working class. They're like, boss, that's my bike lane.
But I did everything I was supposed to do.
We did everything we were supposed to do. We were even kind of racist and sexist, just like you. Why are you taking away our bike lanes? It's nonpartisan. Wink, wink, whatever. What the hell does that mean? When white men say nonpartisan, what exactly does that exactly mean? Okay, what is this BS?
It means they're a fence walker.
Yeah. But now they're all shocked. They're like, I think it's the most shocking thing. It's the people who are like the biggest class reductionists are the biggest people who seem to be, oh my God. Well, you aren't you the one that said this is about class? You said that. You said this is about socioeconomic class. This is about power. So why do you, as a white man, seem surprised about your bike lanes going away? You are not rich. You're not wealthy. And you said that if we just stop talking about race, it would all that power would be nice to us because really it's just about you not getting. You didn't get it. You didn't get it. You're the last people to get it. I mean, that's okay. You know what though? the thing is right now, and what I'm going to try to do is we got to talk about how car dependency is a subsidy. And really, the car makers, the oil people, they are the people who are. I don't even like using, you know what? I don't like even using that term like, oh, well, they're the biggest welfare queens, like, the farmers and the gas companies. Cause I mean, it's just like when we're using their language, we're kind of like legitimizing like all the other stuff they're saying. You know what I mean? Like, how can we,
Yeah.
we could just call them assholes.
We
like,
we can't just call them
yeah,
assholes.
yeah, yeah. They're the biggest leeches out there. Like that's a better term, maybe leeches. No, we know what we're insulting the leeches. We're insulting the leeches. We're insulting the pigs. We should just call them rich people who steal from us. Just be really basic about it. And the thing is, this is that to me, cars. Well, I call it auto asphyxiation. That's what we call it. And I should let you talk because I'm just keeping on quiet.
Well, I think it's really interesting, because what I see mostly on bicycles in the area that I live in is delivery drivers who are usually men of color, and they're immigrants. A lot of them are French-speaking Haitians. Like I encounter like 5 or 6 different languages a week sometimes, like just running into delivery drivers on the street. I think it's possible that that's what they're paying attention to.
That could be. I mean, you know what? You're right. That's what they're paying attention to. But I think the thing is so funny is that I think another thing that they were using, they were saying, look, these immigrants, these you know these racialized people, they are essentially working. they are you know they are working for us. They are essentially working for the AI, the text, the algorithms. So it's like it's still benefiting us because that's their whole thing. They're like, but it's still benefiting us. See, those delivery drivers are still part of us because they help us make more money. So we still don't understand. We helped lobby so that your tech companies could make money. I mean, the oligarchical subsidized capitalism, or we want to call it platform urbanism. We thought you supported this. We had a whole website called Market Urbanism. You guys were supposed to be down with this. Why are you using the enslaved workers on bikes to take away our bike lanes when really it gives you money? Because and that's the thing is, it sounds like I'm being satirical, but that's literally the argument that these men make.
Oh, no, I know.
We are for capitalism and exploitation of other people just like you, rich men. Why don't you see us fellow white men as the same as you? It's like, damn it, man, you
You
almost got
just
it.
don't you're almost there. You're
Almost,
almost there.
yeah, it's like this. You're the ones that say, why do you always make it about race? Why do you always make it about gender? You're right. It's not about race or gender. It's about, do you have money or do you not have money? What do you not understand about this? Yeah, he's just making stuff up. Just like, yes, he is making this up because essentially the bicycle is a tool when not used by Uber Eats and DoorDash. It is a tool where you can, that can facilitate social relations, that can facilitate power, that can facilitate you getting around without having to spend large amounts of money, without having to subsidize rich people, without having to lose your power. I mean, it's just like they have all kinds of reasons to not be for it. They want to say, they call it the DEI, a bike lane. They should just call it the problem is it's the worker bike lane. And they don't
That's
like workers.
They don't like workers, no.
Yes, and so white men with jobs who have to have jobs, you are part of the workers. I know you think you're different and you think it doesn't count because you're white, even though you said you don't want to be into race or gender, but you still do when it has to do with you. So now you're all, oh, we call. I like that little surprise face they all make. Oh, but why?
Well,
Yeah,
the surprise Pikachu.
Pikachu. Whoa! That's like the entire bicycle community. But we're nonpartisan. Like, dude, like, oh my god, like, okay, we're gonna have to move on from that topic because we will circle back around to that.
Well, I also have like, like I just throughout all of these issues, and we're talking about how power is just being relegated upwards to the regime rather than, like focused in the communities, focused on the states and whatnot. I thought the Republican Party was supposed to be that of small government.
Exactly.
I thought the Republican Party was all for states' rights and you guys do what you want. Like
I know, and then all of a sudden it's not, and yeah, yeah.
when it suits their narrative, then it's not.
That's why I'm like, and I always said, states' rights is just, it's a way for people who are rich to get their way. So yes, it's a way also to be very racist, but also it's a way to be very anti-working class, anti-worker, and it is it continues to surprise me that the people who seem to understand this seem to not understand this at the same time. And and this is the thing, it's like how they change the rules, how if somebody messes up, I think about in regards to talk about the 6,000 people in New Jersey who were registered to vote owing to DMV, or as they call it in the New Jersey, MVC. Um,
The Motor Vehicle
yeah,
Commission.
yeah. No one calls it that anywhere else in the in
No,
the in the in the.
we don't call it that here either. We just call it the DMV like everybody else does. But
Oh, you do? Okay, I
yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
that.
we just call it the DMV. Like
Just
it's
so you guys know that
it's
it was you
named
guys
the MVC, but it's not. This is New Jersey. We don't follow rules.
they changed it at some point. I know something happened and they changed it. And they're like, we don't want to be like everybody else. We're different. Is
They
that
at some point in time, like I think in the early 90s, I would have to really look this up to like back it up, but I think they privatized or there was talk of privatization. I don't really know. I don't really
okay?
know.
Okay,
But
we'll
we've
figure
always
out
just
that out.
called it the DMV.
We'll just figure that out later. But it appears like maybe 400 people casted a vote. Okay. And was not enough to do anything to any election. But also I want to say this, like Governor Sherrill was like on it. Like she was
Oh,
like
immediately.
immediately. She wasn't even trying to be sneaky or anything. I have to say, I would have made the move of like, maybe we should bring it up. Let them find out. That's why I'm not governor. Because I would have been like, let's just not
Let's
say.
just well, and this is an opportune time. The Trump administration has been talking about non-citizen voting for 10 years now. As we see in New Jersey, this was a bureaucratic clerical error, which is very easy to do. Um,
Yes.
when you go and fill out your card at the DMV or when you get one in the mail because like you can renew your license in the mail and that's how you change or renew your voter registration. It's very easy to just accidentally check a box. Or when the machine reads it as you accidentally checked the box and you didn't really. And a lot of people like if I got a sample ballot in the mail, if you're registered to vote, you get a sample ballot in the mail. And if I got one in the mail, I'd be like, oh, okay, I guess I get to vote.
Well, there are some places like, okay, in New York City, they have situations where people who are undocumented can vote in certain elections. And I think like, participatory like budgeting or something like that, they can vote in certain elections. But the thing is this, I think that there's a difference between a registration error and election fraud. And I think that
Yes.
they're trying to conflate those. It's kind of like to me, the Republican Party, they're bad faith actors. They are not like, this is not about the fact that, oh, you made an error. And so now, but now it's like, oh, we caught you. You made an error. So now that would be like, oh, you have the time changes. Say you're in high school, the time changes. And so you miss curfew. Okay. And then your mom's like, well, see, that's proof that you're irresponsible and you can't leave the house again until you're 40. That's like a disproportionate response to a clerical error that you admit to. You go, hey, I didn't realize that the time changed. I came home, it's not even an hour late. I came home 30 minutes late. Sorry. And you know that you admit it. You went, you're like, hey, whatever. And then you're like, nope, nope, nope. And I think that this kind of overly punitive consequences, it is kind of it the overly punitive consequences and the individualism and whose fault it is and the blame. It even goes back to like the whole bike, how they were doing bike lanes when they were doing them. It was very much like, here's some paint, don't die.
Yeah.
Like figure it out. Oh, you got hit. Okay, you two figure that out. It's between you and so it's kind of like all this help and all this support for people to drive, for people to like work for Uber Eats, and things like that. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, well, now the government's got to get involved, and we got to
They gotta like elbow their way
yeah, well,
in.
yeah, exactly. And I think that in a way, it's like this does matter, and I think that's something that Sherelle did really well, is that she didn't try to act like, oh, this was not a big deal, because it does matter. You can't act like it didn't matter. But the thing is, this did not make any difference in any election. Okay, this didn't make a difference in any election. And also, how do we know? And even though I'm not even doing the whataboutism, but you know, it'd be interesting to know like where those votes went. Okay, it doesn't really matter because it didn't really do anything in regards to impacting the election. I mean, there are millions and millions of people in New Jersey, and a million people voted. So and Sherelle won by like I think 480, half a million votes,
Yeah.
which is pretty.
She won by a solid margin.
Yeah, it's a pretty substantial, solid beating. She did better than Phil Murphy. And like I said, I give us a little bit of credit for that, but she did better than Phil Murphy. And I think that, but the thing is, this is that this is this error. Like I think about in regards to the undocumented peoples in ICE. Again, this disproportionate response to paperwork issues. Like imagine, in regards to like parking tickets or anything like that. Imagine if they did that to everyone. This disproportionate response to people who are undocumented, this disproportionate response to people who don't drive a car. It just seems to me to be, well, it doesn't seem to me, it is. This is about power. This is about how can we take away power from the most amount of people? How can we show people how can we give a visual demonstration of our power without rocking the boat too much? Kind of like, we could take away bike lanes because it's kind of a fringe thing. Take away bike lanes. Oh, we're going to take away people's right to vote. Well, that's why we have to need the SAVE Act because of this thing right here. So it's all, everything leads to how can we disempower people who are not rich? And I think the thing, again, I want to point to, and I want to remind white men in our studio audience, when we're saying this, we're not saying they're trying to take away people's right to vote so that only white men vote. No, what we're saying is they're trying to slowly take away people who are not rich vote. Now, the thing is that you may look at lots of people, and we know that there are a disproportionate amount of white men who are rich in the United States. But that did not mean that you being a white man means you will be part of that. It didn't mean that at all. So it's like they think, oh, that means that I will be able to vote. You can be thrown out of white manness at any point because they get to decide. You just like people got brought into whiteness, they can throw you right back out.
Exactly. And that's what like people really need to remember that whiteness has been granted to many ethnic groups of people. And just as quick, and most of those ethnic groups of people are still working class in some capacity. Um,
Yeah, if we broke down white people by, you know, national, like where they came from, I think white people will look a lot different.
yes, no, I think that they absolutely would. And that whiteness that was granted to those working class ethnic people can be taken away just as quickly as it was given. And it's going to be if this administration keeps moving forward and consolidating power in the way that they are. Like we're talking about two things, like we said at the beginning, they seem completely unrelated, but these are just small little chips away at community power that consolidate power to the administration so that they can move their fascist plan forward.
Yeah, and I think I liked what I like to think about in 1923. There was a case. He was Sikh. His name was Bhagat Singh, and he Caucasian. He was using that term Caucasian as saying that he was white. He was a World War I veteran. He was in San Francisco. He had a business. He had a um he had a business. And what happened was because of him, this act called the California Alien Law Land Law Act passed, and Sikhs were banned from owning or leasing farmland. Or anyway, it's a horrible story because he was white for all intents and purposes. In the 1900s, he was white. He took him, and they said, "I'm taking your business away because you're no longer white." This is in California too. And in 1923, he went to court. He was married to a white woman. He was viewed as white. He had a business. They took away his citizenship, took away his business. His wife left him, and he killed himself in a motel room. He, he was a World War I veteran. He was like, "I'm white. I'm white." And people think that can't happen. Look,
It no, it can. Like it already is.
well,
They've
it's just kind of like Reconstruction. People are like, "Well, that can't happen again." And I remember I kept saying, like, people are like, "Well, it's this is it." I'm like, "We're going towards Reconstruction Part Two. This is not. The United States has done this before because that was during post Reconstruction when that was part of the residuals of post Reconstruction was stripping people of whiteness."
exactly, exactly. And it will, like it will and it can and will, I think, in my opinion, if we don't stop this administration from even grasping these small little bits of power that people don't think matters, um, they can and will take away the whiteness of Italians, Irish people, Jewish people. Like they absolutely will start chipping away at those ethnic groups that were granted whiteness initially.
Yeah, so I mean, the thing is, don't get comfortable. Don't like. I think a lot of times I'll talk to someone. They'll be like, "Well, as a white man, I have to make sure that I protect you. You need to protect yourself. This is not even about us anymore. You think that after they come for us, that you're not next? You think you're? I promise you. You know, rich people don't have a race because they're rich. They're called human beings. That's just that, that, and I think that's something that we really, I think, have to start embrace. You need to, like, we talk that men like always talk about, what about class analysis? What about class analysis? Well, we like to ask you that. What about class
What about
analysis?
class analysis?
What makes you think that you're the same as Elon Musk? What
Yeah,
makes you think that you're the same as Trump? Oh, you're a white guy. What? So don't
tempor
care. Don't.
temporarily inconvenienced billionaires. That's a lot of white men can't, they still have, they're so indoctrinated by that American dream, work hard and you'll get your due reward. Um, they're so indoctrinated in that idea that they can't perceive themselves outside of that. They're gonna get there. They're gonna be like Elon Musk. You just gotta wait. They're gonna get there. They're gonna work real hard, and their boss is gonna recognize how hard they work. They're never
And
gonna see their kids because they're at work all the time.
and they're like, I'm not partisan. I didn't even pick a side. That's like this. I love how they go, I didn't pick a side. I didn't pick a side. You picked the side of bootlicker. That's what.
Yes, that's yeah. If you didn't pick a side, then you picked the side of bootlicker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nonpartisan, apolitical. Your side is bootlicker. In case you did not know this.
It's like with like like punk rockers and skinheads. Like, oh, I'm not
I
like,
don't have a. I
I
don't
don't have a
know.
side. I hang out with everybody. Well, then you're a Nazi.
That's how this works. And and we're saying this with love. We
We
care about you
we
because
care about
we need
you.
to be able to we need to be able to sit in the room with differences. The differences within the working class, and we are all part of the working class. We all are working for a living. We all don't have, um, everyone doesn't have a huge like people, and not everyone has a trust fund. Not everyone, it is like,
What's a trust fund?
yeah, and everyone has a trust. A lot of people don't know what it is. A lot of people are going to be like, they're going to be doing GoFundMe for their parents. It is, it's a very interesting kind of situation. But another thing I think is interesting is that we're just kind of like, oh, no citizens or citizens are not voting. They're or that was an administrative error, et cetera, and that is true. But I think another part of this conversation is, you know I would really like to be a situation where people who live here can vote, regardless of their documentation status. I think if you live here, I think if you pay taxes for 1 year, you can be a citizen.
I,
I'm for open borders everywhere.
yeah, I don't like, yeah, I'm of the mind that you can't see borders from space, so your political lines mean nothing.
It is. I mean, it's true. If to be North America, Mexico, the Caribbean, Canada, if Canada wants to be part of it, might not want to be. They might not want to come out of slumber party. I don't want to be part of that bullshit. But we should all be one country.
That's because we're the crack house, so I
Yeah,
totally
like, I don't know if I want
understand.
to. I don't want to share a school district with them. They're crazy. Like we're the roommate. People are like, oh, I don't. Oh man, like, can we just?
You have to explain it to when you bring friends over.
Yeah, like he's cool. Most of the time, they're cool. They just sometimes they just, yeah, I know. He's got the little scarf on the door a lot, but he's by himself. I don't know what the hell he's doing in there. That is the United States. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's just, and I think the thing is that this is all about, it's just a fight for space. This is a fight for legitimacy. And also, this is a fight for the Weltanschauung of America. Do we really want the situation where, oh, if you make a mistake and you're not rich, then the consequences are you lose your rights and you get to be surveillanced. I mean, it's like you get grounded for life until you're 50 years old. How does that work? And I think that we this whole moral right, wrong, etc. Christianity thing, we allow that mindset to punish us if we think, oh, someone's made an error. And even people will be like, well, we messed up. So that means that we should let Trump just look through all of our voter rolls. We should violate people's rights because there was administrative error. So it doesn't make it okay. It does, who benefits from these kind of mistakes? When Ford's Pinto blew up, did we benefit from that? When Uber Eats essentially. I think about the book. I was killed by a traffic engineer. That's a book. And in the book, it was like Uber said safety third. they had a thing like on their wall. They posted it up. Safety third. They don't care if they run you over. They think
And
it was fun. They had I think it was an autonomous vehicle, and it ran people over. And they're like, see, that means that because the driver was in the car, that was the driver's fault, not our autonomous vehicle. And then it turns out the autonomous vehicle was driving because the person was completely asleep. So they said, okay, but it was still the autonomous vehicle. Clearly, you still need a human being. But they were like, well,
yeah,
that shows that the error are humans. So we should get rid of all the humans and replace them with us. This is Uber. This is Uber. This is
no.
Uber. The group that essentially donates, and I keep saying this, the League of American Bicyclists, Waymo, Uber, Lyft. They don't care. It's just, and again, when bicycle advocacy seems shocked that when the rich, wealthy benefactors are like, say nothing, when bicycles disappear from the website and they're just like, we were bootlickers, or nonpartisan as they call it. We were nonpartisan. We don't understand. Like, all you got left with is just brown stuff on your face. You like, wipe it off. Wipe off that stuff off your face. Silly boy.
What brand of leather do you recommend for the most delicious licking?
It's just so sad. And then
Okay.
just the screaming and the whining and the crying and the old like, but it's we're not DEI. We're white men.
It's no, I know. Like they don't like I don't they just don't realize it, you
No, they
know.
don't.
And
You know,
it's
you're us. You
a
suck just like us. Sorry, no, we don't suck. But you're just like us. You don't. You're not
you're not
special.
special.
Okay, you're not special. There's no special category for you. You are just, and that, and to me, the whole, when we took your bike lane, that should be your wake up call, because that's all you guys can understand, the stuff that you like. So now all they gotta do is take away the trains, and then we really will get them. Take away the train. We're like,
Please don't take away the trains.
once he strips away Amtrak, they'll be like, oh, it's nonpartisan. And but also too, I want to go back to undocumented people before we wrap this up. Undocumented people who appear undocumented, have been going through hell for since this administration. This is about power, and this is, I hope we don't go into the whole like, oh well, citizens, like they're not voting. Citizens are not voting, but the point of the matter is that people in many ways, I feel that we are not treating people correctly. They're being instrumentalized, undocumented people, whether it be for, oh, we need them for bike lanes because we need these bike lanes because we care about undocumented people, but we also need flock cameras because we care about undocumented
Inman
people.
people.
We also need, we have to see how all these things are connected, from flock, from essentially enslaving bicycle messengers, to the voting rolls. I mean, just these are all connected items, which don't seem connected, but it's just about space and power, and who gets the benefits, and who gets exploited, and who has to pay. And I think so many times it's like capitalism gets socialism, and we get the most brutal capitalism, essentially, ripping our skin and flesh off, and we don't take it seriously.
No, we definitely don't take it seriously. And a lot of people have trouble connecting the dots, and they don't realize that this is all a consolidation of power upwards to the regime so that they can exact their nefarious plans against all of us,
It's true.
including the white men.
Exactly, and you're part. You guys, yeah, exactly. Please understand you are part of that, and so please come fight with us, not in the patronizing like, I've got to help. No, we're helping you
Yeah,
because you
no,
clearly
we're
don't get it.
yeah, you're not connecting the dots. We have to do it for you. So please, we need your help. You're
Yeah,
so big
yeah.
and strong and want to protect us. We need your help.
We need your help. Exactly. So please help us and actually do the whole class reductionism thing that you always tell us to do. Can you actually practice that in regards to yourself?
Y-
That would be amazingly helpful. And
s-
with
s-
that,
Self-crit.
yes. And with that, we're going to wrap this up. Spotify, YouTube, Substack, Facebook. We're
Oh, and
here.
our we have a book event coming up.
Oh,
August 9th, we have our read here, Dorothy Parker read here. This is our third event now.
yeah, third event.
Oh,
Third event at
yay. Yay for
Course
us.
Tavern. Yay!
At Course Tavern in Bloomfield.
Yes. Yes, it'll be great. The drinks are $7.32 for a gin and tonic. That's like unheard of
This is in this economy.
in 2026. Unheard of.
Come out and have a lovely Sunday.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Have a great night or day.